Welcome to Technology for Humans, tech through the eyes of its leaders. All right, hello and welcome to the podcast. And today I have Carlos Lopes from CodeMiner with us today. Carlos, are you the owner of CodeMiner or founder, CEO? What role do you take?
Perfect. At this moment, I am one of the partners. I'm not one of the founders. And sometimes people usually think that I am because I am in the company since like it has, I think before it turned 1 year old, I was already at the company. So,
Okay.
But today I'm only one of the business partners.
There is a trend in some places, probably a San Francisco thing, to when you join a company to take on the title of founder, even if you aren't the founder, just because you're helping to establish or grow the business. I don't know if you've noticed that. It's a thing that happens sometimes.
I never heard about that, but yeah, it makes sense. You helped to found the company in a, it's not in the paper, but you helped it to make it work out. So makes sense. Yeah. Depending on the point of view, it's true.
Yeah, I think the most famous example actually is Elon Musk, who didn't actually found Tesla, but he's the founder. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't. Anyway. You are in Sao Paulo, is that correct?
Yes. I live in a city, it's called Campinas. It's 1 hour drive from Sao Paulo. So,
okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Sao Paulo is a beautiful city, I understand.
Beautiful is it's a complicated word to use to refer to São Paulo. I would say that it's huge. It has a lot of things to do, and there are parts of the city that are beautiful, but in my opinion, is not the beauty that I like. I prefer where I live. It's more like, suburb, more trees, etc.
Okay.
It's more like I'm more into this than a huge city like Sao Paulo or New York.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, I totally understand. The tech scene in Brazil as a whole, however, is probably something that I'd like to discuss because I think that it's a growing community. It's a growing scene. And there is innovation that comes out of Brazil, which stands to reason, massive population, reasonably well-educated, highly productive, I would say. Is this all true?
I would say that productive, true, educated, it could be and it should be better because of how our politics work and etc. Unfortunately, our education system here I think that it's not good. I would say that unfortunately, it's bad and it doesn't offer the opportunities that it should give to people. But I would say that, but when we talk about the tech scene, I would say that it's like a bubble, like it's a community, not big community, but there are a lot of but it's a group of people that are highly concentrated. And these people that are concentrated and working in the tech scene, they are very well educated. They know what they are talking about. They are constantly going to find and to learn more and to read and get knowledge from different resource and etc. So I would say that it's not better from the entire country, but the tech scene is itself like this small group that represent the tech scene is very good and high qualified.
I don't currently, but I have in the past had developers from Brazil who work for us at Reinteractive. And a couple of things that I know. One is incredibly nice people. Like they were just so nice. I say that, but I probably would say that about any of the employees that I have and almost anyone in the community actually. But they were incredibly nice, but incredibly hardworking as well. Like the output, the what they could produce was extraordinary, and for that reason, they were not just great developers, but people that I could throw onto any project. Is this your experience? I mean, you obviously have to find a lot more developers through the country than I ever had to. What did you find?
Yes, exactly. I think that this is still true. And yes, Brazilians are known to be people that are very creative and like that put a lot of energy on what they are doing, on their work. So I would say that this continues to be true. However, unfortunately, at this moment, and I don't want to be canceled in the internet, but I will say something that I always like to bring is that we have a generational thing happening because I would say that the new generation sometimes, because of all the tooling, all the information that they have, like really fast on their hands and etc., they usually try to get shortcuts, and this is not that good. Like these shortcuts usually turn them on as bad, not bad, but low qualified employees or workers. So, in my opinion, Brazilian people that don't get these shortcuts and they really try to understand what they are doing, they study, and they like really want to know more and to be and to have the knowledge needed to be an expert, or at least to try to be one. These people are on the right path, and they will be all these talented and and will deserve this title that we have, and this recognize it as the way that we always were.
You're hiring 100% remote, is that correct?
Yes. I would say that's 100% remote, but we have some co-workings. So our team is currently spread across the country, but it's normally people are based on cities where, for example, city where they exists a good university, or it's a tech. There's a tech scene, more a better tech scene, and on these regions it's common to have more than one engineer, and because of that, we usually have tables or spaces in co-workings where the team can go and work together.
Right. Okay. That sounds interesting. Why do you do that? Why do you prefer that to rather than just saying, you know what, just work from home? You know, you've got your laptop there. Go ahead and produce. What's the preference to co-working?
Yes, this is a great question. I think that we always try to make the team work together and physically together, because it's very helpful to first to keep our culture. If you think about the way that we work, our business model is normally we allocate the engineers to work with our clients' teams, and if the engineers never have this experience of being side by side with another miner, we call them miners here. So with another miner, they tend to think that they are our client's employee. So to try to keep our culture and incentivize that, we always we tend to ask them, and not require, but we try to incentivize them to go to the co-working, and we also offer them happy hours, dinners, parties where they can go and hang out with the rest of our team and feel that, oh yes, I'm part of CodeMiner and I work as a consultant for a specific client at this moment. So we want to make sure that this culture and this mindset is present in our engineers.
I understand then that obviously keeping morale high is important to you. How do you measure output or production, or do you leave that to your clients to measure on behalf? And it can be difficult because different projects require different metrics. Like if somebody's doing an upgrade, it's very hard because you can't really push anything until right at the end. If you're working on features, you can measure the number of features that are being produced. Obviously, it's different for different projects. How do you measure that, or how do you judge it?
Oh, perfect. Really good question. So basically, we have some process that we run internally to measure that. One of them is the technical assessments. So every year, at least twice a year, our engineers, we evaluate all our engineers doing rounds of technical assessments. And during these assessments, we check if they are up to date with the technologies, if they are able to tackle certain types of problems, and etc. This is a way that we can evaluate and check if their technical knowledge is not stopped, if they are evolving during the time. Beyond that, we also have a person here internally that we call. We don't have a specific name for that. We are even trying to find a good name for this role, but at this moment we call them tech leads. And these tech leads, they are people that really understand what are our bars and what is our standard, what we expect from each level. So what CodeMiner expects from a junior engineer, what CodeMiner expects from a mid-level engineer. So these tech leads, they are really they have clear vision about that, and from time to time they do some I would not say evaluation, but they talk with the team. They are present during some projects. They are present inside some projects to check how the team is working, how those engineers are behaving during certain types of challenge that they are facing when they are working with our clients. And this way, it's another. And with these tech leads, they provide us the feedback, another feedback that we can use to feel like, oh, these engineers are evolving, they are not evolving. We need to improve, and we need to teach them these.
Okay. So you can set challenges, them assignments or tasks.
Exactly. And also this information helps us to prepare the internal initiatives that we offer to our engineers. So, for example, if our tech leads, if they see that, most of our mid-level front-end engineers are lacking knowledge, they're having a gap when they talk about promises, for example. This is a signal that we need to maybe give an internal course of promises, and then we train the team and we give them we give them all the support needed, so they can have these so they can improve and be better and get that knowledge that they need.
Yeah, understood. At Reinteractive, our developers, I only sell them 4 days in the week. So whilst they work for us 5 days, I sell them 4 days. And then that 5th day, so long as there isn't like a public holiday or sickness or something that they have to make up time for, they use that day to study. They use that to become further educated and to broaden their skills. Do you do something similar?
Yes, depending on the engineer, depending on what they are eager to learn and what they are investing their time. Yes, we do. For example, at this moment, we are this year we started to also offer DevOps to our clients. This is something new to us. And since we understand that DevOps, like there are a lot of, like when we talk about DevOps, sometimes certifications are very important depending on which client you want to have and which deal you want to close. And because of that, we are offering and we are sponsoring certifications to some of our engineers at CodeMiner, and we are giving them 1 day per week so they can study, they can be prepared for the certification that they will, the exams that they will, that they will do soon.
Yeah. Those exams can be tough. they can be rough. I have a story about that. One of we do DevOps as well, and I had to get one of our developers through an exam, and it was one of those ones where you have to do it in person, like it wasn't online. You actually had to go to a location to do it. And this particular developer was in the Philippines. I can't remember which city. Anyway, in the Philippines. And the exam itself was scheduled to take 1 hour. So his senior, the person that was running this particular developer, said, okay, you can, take the morning, go and do that exam. And he said, no, I need the whole day. And we're like, what? Why would you need the whole day? And the reason is because the exam, whilst it was just a few kilometers away from his house, it was like 10 kilometers away, not a few, 10 kilometers away, like too far to walk. So he had to drive. It takes literally half the day to drive 10 kilometers the city that he lives in, because the traffic is so bad. You have to set out hours before you need to be anywhere, and it takes hours to get home. You can almost walk faster to do a 1 hour exam. Yeah.
So yes, São Paulo is not that bad.
Yeah, right. It's not that bad.
Remove everything that I said about São Paulo.
Yeah. I mean, it's, this is one of the reasons why having these guys work only from home and not have to go anywhere else is like, it's perfect for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Let's talk about your DevOps. What stacks do you use? What platforms do you like to? I mean, AWS, I guess, would be the preference. What else do you use?
Yes, exactly. So since this is a new role but this is a new specialty that we are bringing to our team this year. And the main stack that our clients are looking for, and the engineers that we are hire, they are more specialized in AWS, and sometimes they also it's common to see engineers specialized in Google Cloud as well.
Okay.
It's hard to find people that has knowledge with Azure, and also I never had a client that asked for that yet. Maybe in sometimes we will have this case.
Are you mostly taking on clients that have the existing infrastructure set up and then you take over their infrastructure? Or do you have clients that have nothing and you're setting it up from scratch? What's the most common?
Perfect. Yeah, we have both types of clients. So depending on the way that we are acting on each client, it's a different situation. So when we are allocating the engineers, so we are just like working as staffing, normally the client already has their infrastructure, already has all the tech stack is already defined, and the project is running. They just need more specialized, talented engineers to work with them. So in that case, we can't opinionate too much. We just offer the vetted engineers to work for them.
Right.
When we have like clients who are projects that we sell and that are projects that we need to take care from end to end. When I say that is from the very beginning to the deployment. So we take care of the entire development life cycle. On this case, we normally we can decide and we can see which infrastructure we use, which language we should use to that project. So we also do this kind of like, we also are responsible to these type of decisions. So we have both case here. And it depends on the way the project that we are working on and how and what is expected from us.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it can be difficult. Running DevOps, I think, is a field that maybe a lot of people don't understand the complexities of, which is fine. Outsource it and leave it to people like us to do. But it can be rough on a business because I assume you have a 24/7 team. Like somebody's always got the pager on. Someone's always going to get woken up at 3 a.m. And it can be quiet as well. Like it can be, nothing much is happening. But then if somebody's stack goes down, it's all hands on deck until that's fixed. Like that's,
Exactly. It's tough. Exactly. And also, it's also always depend on the project and how is the contract. So, it can be very tough and hard to work with DevOps and all these roles that are required when we talk about high availability and etc.
But that's why people like us exist. Like it can be difficult for you've got a medium or even a large company. Is it worth it for them to have one person dedicated to AWS who's an expert in that stack? And even they can't be there 24/7. So how do you, outsourcing it is a smart move.
Exactly. Totally agree.
And then, people like us carry the responsibility of it. And that's quite smart. Yeah.
Exactly.
So going back to developers then, do you have difficulty finding good developers throughout Brazil?
Oh, yes. I think like everyone else in the world, yes, we also are struggling to find talented engineers here. And what's the way that CodeMiner figure out, and the CodeMiner way to solve this. It's something that we developed during the time and is having, and the way that we do to have an organic way the way that we found to increase our team in an organic way is having our trainee programs. So since it has been really hard to find more mid-level senior engineers, talented mid-level senior engineers, we created our training program where we get like people when they are at the beginning of their careers, and we train and we mentor them during some years so they can be our mid-level, senior-level engineers in the long run.
When you're looking for those trainees, are you taking on people who are fresh out of university, or are you hiring people literally out of high school? Like what's the criteria on the trainees?
Perfect. Normally, the people need how can I say that the participants need to be in the last year of the university, or they if I remember correct, they need to be on the last year of the university, and it doesn't need to be, depending on the year, we require previous experience. Depending on the year, we don't require that. Last year, it was required. This year, actually, at the beginning of this year, the last cohort, it was required for them to have previous experience, and it was a success.
Okay, all right. But when you say experience, you don't mean experience in Rails or Ruby?
No. When I say experience, what I mean is they needed to have at least 1 year of experience working in a tech company as an intern or whatever. It doesn't need it to be something very specific, because during the trainee program, we teach them and we educate them. So it's not required to be expert on the technology that we are investing.
Right. And then you put them on whatever courses or whatever to understand and to bring them up to speed on the technology that they need to know.
Yes. Yes, actually, our team, we have our internal team, our senior engineers, they we have all this program already prepared, and our own engineers, more experienced engineers, they teach the participants during 3 months. So we hire these participants, they are part of our team, but they keep studying for around 3 months. And then after that period, we start to offer them to our clients.
Oh, that's great. That's a fantastic program. One of the things that that comes up as a theme when I talk to executives in the Rails industry is that there is a lack of talent, or the talent is there, but it's a population that's, for want of a better word, aging. And we know that there's going to be a lack of good developers seriously coming up if we don't do something about it. And that either means we take care of it today or Rails ceases to exist. So, it's an important thing. Is this the viewpoint that you take, or is it just really for your business? Like, do you take that larger picture of the whole community into account?
Exactly. Yeah, we do. To be honest, like everything started, all this trainee program and etc. It started the first version of it. I would say that the MVP of it was called immersion, and it was something that we didn't hire the engineers at that time, but it was something that we do at no cost, and everyone could subscribe and could participate on these classes. So it was something that we were not like expecting to increase our team based on the result of the program. It was something that we are doing offering to the community in general. And then the program evolved, and we saw that, yes, it's possible to create this program and give opportunity to people that they didn't have the chance. No one ever gave them the chance. So it's possible for us to give them the chance and change their lives, not only their careers, but change their lives. And so the program now is a win-win, I would say. So we hire them, they are paid to study, and based on what they go during the program, they continue in our team being one of the miners.
That's great. Taking a more global view on this, what do you think could be done more or could be done better by agencies, by companies to encourage the future of Rails? Like, should other companies be running similar programs to yours? I would think the answer is yes.
Yes, I think so. But when I talk about this type of program, I tend to not focus on Rails, like specifically.
Okay.
I think that I think that it's better if we think about this program in a more like global, in a bigger picture. So I think that, and also this was very good. It was a very good question, because now we are in a turning point where people are starting to believe that AI can replace engineers. And when we talk about that, people usually tend to say that junior engineers are doomed. And I don't believe on that, So I think that if we see this kind of, and if we have these kind of programs and we see them in a bigger picture, we will be able to, how can I say that? To create an environment where we can give opportunity to the newcomers, because everyone starts from somewhere. And giving this opportunity to them, we teach them to be engineers and not coders, because coders, in my opinion, they will be replaced by AI, but engineers won't. So we need to teach them to be engineers. And this is what we do here at CodeMiner. So, for example, on this last trainee cohort, we had, it was supposed to the group be study only Node.js during the program, and they did. So our team teaching them Node.js, React, all the JavaScript like related technologies. However, a lot of new clients started to ask for, I need Rails engineers, I need Python engineers, and then we say, okay. But since we teach them not to be Node.js coders, we teach them to be engineers, we were able to use them and allocate them to those clients, and they were able to adapt and learn these new technologies. So they are not attached to a single technology. We teach them to be engineers. So a language or a framework is only a tool that you use. It's not what you know. You know a lot more than Rails. You know how to be an engineer, you know?
Right. That's very important. I think that's a distinction that makes a senior engineer is somebody who has that breadth of knowledge and understanding, because it's more than just, hey, I know more than one programming language. It's an understanding of how these languages work and what you have to do to get a result. And that's, I think that's something I've done in my career, is try to understand in more depth, which I think is very important for the future.
Exactly. So I think that this is what I would say. If we have more of these type of programs in the community, we need to focus on that. Like, we need to give this opportunity. Everyone starts from somewhere, and we need to teach them and explain to them the importance of being engineers. I think this is what I always talk to my internal team here.
Yeah. Okay. When we talk about AI, what's the role that takes in your business? I mean, I think as agencies, we perhaps understand the limitations and the expectations. How do you use AI in your business? Like, do you let your team use whatever tools they want to, or are you like strict about what they should use?
Yes, we are investing and teaching, I would say educating, not teaching, but we are educating our team to use these tools, because when you talk about them, I think that these tools are incredible. I think that AI is not in hype. I'm not like that person I'm not that kind of person that say, oh, it's only hype, it will pass. I think that yes, it's a hype depending on the point of view, but it's real and it's here and it's something very useful, and it's something that can boost your productivity. So this is why we are investing and educating our team here to use these tools. When I say educate, it's because depending on the way that you use, you try to, the person can rely 100% on these tools, and this way they will not evolve to be the engineer that we were talking about, and they will of course produce terrible code and terrible things, because these tools, they have limitations. So we educate our engineers to use them as something that would increase their productivity, but the engineers should not rely on them.
Yeah, right. Do you see across the board, and I think we have to ask this in a very general sense, do you see a percentage of increase in productivity as a result of using these tools, or is it too hard to say at this stage?
I would say that in our context, at this moment, it has been really hard to find or to have the number, and I would love to have it because since we are an agents, we are consultants, everything depends on the client that on the project or depend on the client that the engineers are working with. So we have clients that are like huge companies, and they don't have these, like they don't even allow their internal teams to use these tools. But we also have huge clients that are incentivized and are paying for the engineers to use these tools. So depending on the team and depending on the engineer, they have the opportunity to use these tools more or less. So because of that, it's hard to say that, our team, the productivity of our team increased 30%, because it's unfair, depending on the project, they can't even use these tools.
Right. So and it's very different. Like a brand new project, you could probably get more use at the start of the project because you can get the whole thing scaffolded, or try to fix a specific problem in a specific stack. Well, that takes someone's individual work. There's no two ways about that. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yes, I
for example, Yes, Shopify is our
Yeah.
customer, is our client.
Yeah.
So all engineers working there, they like Shopify like give to them access to like a plane of tools. They can use them
Yeah.
however,
Yeah.
whatever,
They encourage
the
it.
way that they
Yeah.
want. Exactly. So it's easier for them compared to clients, to engineers that are related to clients that like have specific security or like requirements
Right.
that don't allow them to use these tools.
That's an interesting point. I think there's a lot of companies that haven't quite wrapped their heads around how to use these tools in a secure way. And there's every chance that the only way to do that securely is to run their own models locally. That might well be the case and might well be the future for a lot of these companies.
Yes, true. And the good thing is that it's possible to do that. I think that that is great because it will not, how can I say that? It will also give opportunity for these companies or these projects to use and to be more productive and to be better engineers when they are working on these type of projects or companies. And also it's good because we are in a good time when we talk about hardware. So today everyone has like notebooks with 5, 8 core GPU cores. So everyone can run like a single model and execute on their machine. So in my opinion, there is no excuse to start to use these tools,
Right. Yeah, that's right. And I think most of the major platform providers offer GPU type clusters that you can use for this purpose. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's just a matter of finding the right model and training it and tuning it and doing all that sort of stuff. So there's a whole sector of technology that's required to understand that and to run that, which has been something we've all had to learn.
Exactly. The good thing is that all these platforms or companies, they are making it very easy for us or very easy to early adopters to run the model and start to prompt it. Like there are many tools and projects that make it like really, really easy to do this kind of thing. So I think that again, this is something that I always talk with our internal team here is that the engineers need to adapt and need to adopt this. If we fight against this, we will lose the wave and we will be out of the market for sure.
Right. Yes, that's right. Find another job. Start building houses or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
Let me change the subject for a moment. You like to attend conferences, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
But do you like to go just as an individual, or do you sponsor? Does the company sponsor? Do you like doing sessions? What's your preferences?
Depends. Normally we like to and we want to sponsor, but unfortunately I have a budget cap. I would like to sponsor many more than I can. But yes, we have this initiative here to sponsor some events and also to participate on them and also participate on the events that we don't sponsor. So it's very common for me to go to conference and also to the rest of our team, and we incentivize the team to submit talks and to participate on panel sessions like you said. So we incentivize that and we sponsor our engineers to participate. When they are accepted, we sponsor them to go and to give the talks and etc. So it's something that is a way that we think that it's good to give back to the community. And also it's good to have this network, meet people, talk with people from other companies, see what's happening. It's important for us to be up to date and be aware about the trends. Since we are consultants, our clients would ask for these things that are happening, like the bleeding edge things. Our clients they always want to know more about that, and we need to be prepared. So participating on this conference are one of the best ways to have this knowledge.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And without getting into any of the politics or even opinions about it, but I think it's incumbent on businesses like ours to support the community that provides to us. Like, I don't want to get into anything particular on that, but I think it's important that we do support and we do provide, that support, whether that's in the form of sponsorships or speaker roles or other types of things that are there. I spoke to Jim from Flagrant last week, and he supports enormously by doing things like producing the websites and other marketing materials. And I think, that, like, if everyone finds their niche like that, it's important.
Exactly. I agree. And Jimmy is fantastic. I really like him. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend to the XO Ruby conference, but next year I will go for sure.
I spoke to him to understand this, and I still don't get how he finds the time and the stamina to put on those conferences. It's incredible.
Exactly. It was amazing. Yes, it was an amazing job. And all the pictures, like the venues were incredible. He was able to invite really good and people with knowledge to speak and etc. So yes, it was amazing. It was a really good job. Congrats to him.
Yeah, no, he deserves our support. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's change the subject once again. There has been discussion recently, and again, we're not going to get political here, but we use a framework, and I know your company uses multiple technologies, primarily Rails. You've been doing Rails for 15 years, would that be right, or 14 years?
14.
Somewhere in that range. Yeah, like a long time. So we use a framework that is what we call opinionated, meaning that it, sticks to certain rules. It's opinionated. We do things in a particular way. And the founder, the person who developed Rails, is himself opinionated, which we shouldn't find surprising since, that's the thing that works. Do you have anything to offer on that, or do you want to share any opinion on that? And it's okay if you don't want to as well.
No, I'm totally fine to talk about these things. We sponsored Rails World. We were there like 3 weeks ago, and some people asked me the same question. And one thing that I always like to say is that DHH is a very, very opinionated person, but he's like, I really, I think that he has like huge, like he's really good on what he does, and he has like, we really need to appreciate him. Like, even if you don't agree with him and with some opinions that are not tech related opinions, because he also talks about different things, but we need to, like, you can't deny that he's a very good technical person. Like, incredible. In my opinion, like, period. During a long period, I didn't follow. I was not following him anymore. I decided to not I tried to block him a little bit because of the way that he was imposing his opinions were too much during some time. But I think that this changed, in my opinion. Like, the way that he is producing content, and the keynote that he did this year at Rails World, it was like incredible, in my opinion. And the way that he talks about pragmatism, in my opinion, is perfect. Like, the way that he thinks, that the way that he describes the situation where our industry is at this moment, I think it's perfect. It's one of the few people, like one of the few, I would say, influencers that say this kind of things, that, we are doing too much for something that could be really simple. We are overcomplicated things. Right. So because of that, I really, like, from 2-3 years ago, I really started to enjoy to hear more from him. I'm not talking about things that are not related to tech. I try to focus on tech, where in my opinion, is where he, like, where he shines, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Look, I understand exactly what you're saying, and I share your views. Specifically when it comes to Rails, I think, and I'm talking in a general sense, if you deny the founder of something, then you're denying all of their work. So it doesn't work to say we like this part, but we don't like that part. And as I think we've seen recently, and I don't know how recent it'll be when this is actually broadcast, but as we've seen recently, people support that founder and they don't like someone saying we don't. So, and of course, people are free to have their opinions. It is completely okay and it is completely appropriate. Everyone should have their own opinions. It is completely correct. But I'm talking in a general sense and what happens, I think.
Yes. And what is also difficult, it's because I have for people that are for the listeners that don't know CodeMiner or the Brazilian tech scene. My partner, one of the founders, CodeMiner's founders, Fabio Kita, is also he also has a YouTube channel. He was producing a lot of content. He stopped to do that, but he was during some years he produced a lot of content, and he also had some, like, I would say rant like rant videos where like he was like just saying
like,
a
here's
lot
my
of
opinion.
things. Exactly. So, and when people do these kind of things, like a lot of people get like don't like what they hear, and also okay, but and since they are talking about sometimes different topics, topics that are beyond let me rephrase that. Sometimes, since DHH talk about things that are different from Rails, people that are like following Rails and etc., they feel frustrated or they don't like about these other topics that that DHH is talking about. This doesn't happen with Errol Peterson or Rafael, because these are type of people that they don't like to say what they think like to everyone. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. They only like to expose their technical view, to talk about technical things. So if DHH was like them, no one would be fighting against him, because people like, okay, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know exactly what you mean.
DHH,
Sorry, that's exactly right. And it's look, it's fine. Everybody is different, and their brilliance is not necessarily dictated by that. A good example of that would be Mats, the founder of Ruby.
Yes, exactly.
Like, he is not opinionated on subjects other than Ruby. Like, he will talk forever on that subject, but nothing about anything else, and that is completely fine. And people love him for that. And
exactly. So like DHH is like, he's a very good salesperson. He knows how to act. He knows how to give a keynote, which is impressive. And I really like,
incredibly so. Yes.
It's incredible how the way that he does. And but he also likes to talk about other subjects, and okay, but people sometimes get confused and they mix things. They have mixed feelings. I don't know, but, I'm pretty sure that if people ignore everything else, they wouldn't be like, they wouldn't have reasons to feel so frustrated or have like to be so angry about him,
Yeah. There is something I will say, Carlos, and you'll know this from going to conferences, is we still have the best community in Ruby and in Rails. Do you attend conferences on other languages or frameworks or anything? Like, do you go to Python or anything like that?
I attended to some JavaScript conferences in the US, and seriously, the Ruby conference, like Ruby or Rails community conference, are like, they are other level. Like, they are really, really, really better than the other ones. I never all the other conferences that I went, I was just one more person there. Like, people don't talk with each other too much. Like, it was not very, how how can I say that? Like, it's not, you don't feel like that you are part of a group of
I
our
get it.
community.
Mm.
So it's strange, but on every Ruby or Rails conference that I go, you feel that you are, oh, I am in a community. People are talking with each other, exchanging ideas. So, in my opinion, all Rails and Ruby conferences are the best ones.
Yeah, no, I agree. I usually leave a Ruby conference with the thought, I need to do more. And this is even when I'm sponsoring or delivering a session or doing something, I still think I should be doing more. And I don't necessarily think that coming out of every conference. Some conferences I just walk out and go, okay, that was a day of my time.
Exactly. And talking about Ruby conference, I want to also share with your listeners that here in Brazil, we are now having a very, very good and very how can I say that, high quality conference for Rails conference here in Brazil now. It's called Tropical on Rails. Next year it will be the third edition. We are always sponsoring them, and we will sponsor next year as well.
Right.
And Sirdis, Rafael, they are doing an incredible job to organizing the event. And seriously, kudos to them, because it has been game changer.
What city will it be in? What city will it be in next year?
São Paulo. São Paulo.
Fantastic.
Yes,
and what, roughly what part of the year? It's the start of the year, is that correct?
Yes, it will be in. They announced the dates. If I remember correctly, it's April 9 and 10, around there. It's the beginning. Right. It will be in the beginning of April.
All right. Any idea when the call for sessions will start? Like when you're going to start asking for?
I think probably in October. Probably they will open the CFP.
Yeah, great. So start looking out for that, because I like the more regional conferences. Like, they tend to be a little bit smaller. I'm not sure how many people you generally get. A couple of hundred, I'm guessing.
Oh, last year it was I would say that it was not a small conference. I think it almost had 800.
Oh,
no,
wow.
I don't think so. I don't remember. Sorry, but it was a lot of people. It was a lot of people.
Yeah,
it was impressive.
I remember a lot of people from the US came down for it, right? Like, it was.
Yes. Last year, Chris Oliver was keynoter. Anna from 37 Signals was one of the keynoters as well. So it's really, really high quality content, and all the organization is amazing. So I invite everyone to come here. CodeMiner will be there. I will be there. It will be great to have people from outside Brazil also participating on it.
Awesome. Great. That seems like a really good point to end. Before I do, is there anything you wanted to bring up in the podcast, but I didn't ask the right question? I always ask this.
I think that we talked about all the subjects, important subjects, and subjects that are on high demand. I would say that. So I'm fine.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. I will put in the show notes a link to Tropical on Rails so people can find that. If they want to find CodeMiner, where would they find you?
Perfect. They can find us on LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is the main social network that we are using. So on LinkedIn, you hear more about what's happening in our company, events that we will be participating, etc. And of course, always check out our website. We launched a new website, so I invite everyone to visit it. www.codeminer42.com.
Okay. I actually meant to ask you, what does the 42 mean?
Oh, perfect. It's from I always forget the name of the book in English. It's from the Galaxy.
Oh, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. It's the first thing I think of when I see that, but I didn't know if that was actually what it was. Okay, got it.
Yes, it's from it.
Okay. All right, fine. All right, well, Carlos, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today, and I'm sure the listeners got a lot out of everything that you've said. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it.
Perfect. It was an honor to be invited. I appreciate it, and it was great to spend this time with you.